people? Y'all know what it is. Wednesday night. Every Wednesday night, 7:30. What's up, everybody? Y'all know what it is. Every Wednesday night, 7:30. People are joining the room. Looking for my guy, Sean Prez. We can get this thing underway. Y'all know how we do it every Wednesday. Shout out to my line brother. What up, Louie? What up, sweet Lou? 7:30 every Wednesday night. You know how we do. It's the Boys Club. It's me and Sean Prez. The realest relationship conversations on the internet. Sid Starr, what up, baby? Without further ado, let me get Prez in here. We can get this thing started. Prez, where you at? There you go. Yo, what up, guy?
Rich, what up, son?
What's the deal?
I'm good. Yo, welcome to Wednesday.
Yes,
you know how we do it.
Yes, sir.
Yo, Rich, who was that baby you posted on the on your profile today?
That's my brother's. My brother just had a new baby.
Oh, nice. That's a cute little baby.
Yeah, baby Luca. That's my brother's baby.
I was like, yo, I know this kid ain't have another baby and they ain't tell me about it.
Nah, as a matter of fact, shout out to my little man just popped up in here. What's up, Taylor? I see you in there.
Shout to Taylor saving the day last week. Shout to Taylor.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but real quick to everybody who joins us every week, welcome back. Rich Dollar, Sean Prez, we are the Boys Club. For anybody who this is your first time with us, this is very real, very in-depth, mature relationship talk, and it's coming from the point of view of men. So if you have a man, if you are looking to get a man and you are trying to understand why men move the way they move, why they act the way they act, why they respond the way they respond, you know, we go hard in the paint answering the very difficult questions about men in relationships. So Rich, you ready to get to it?
Let's do it.
You know something, even before I do, please, for everybody who's rocking with us, please tag your friends. Let them know that we are on. Let them know the Boys Club is about to begin. Please tag your friends for us. Okay, Rich, I asked you this question last week, and I told you we were going to start the show off with it this week. Floyd Mayweather, he made one of the illest comments. Floyd Mayweather, he said something that was profound in a way. He said he would rather have a woman he trusts over a woman he loves. And you started to go in with your thoughts, but I want you to kind of start from the beginning. Like, do you agree with him? Do you disagree? Do you think Floyd Mayweather is just talking that talk, or does he have some substance to what he's saying?
No, there's definitely some substance. There's definitely some substance to what he's saying. I believe that to have a woman that loves you doesn't mean that you can trust her. A woman, just because she loves you, people lose things they love all the time because of personal personality traits and such. Just because a woman loves you doesn't mean she's going to be true to you, doesn't mean she's going to be loyal to you, doesn't mean that she's trustworthy. So I 100% agree with what Floyd said. He'd rather have a woman that he can trust than have a woman he loves. The woman you can trust is a woman that you can say, I'm going to put her in a room with 50 dudes and she's not going to do anything. Woman you can trust means she's going to go to the club every night and she's not going to be sneaking numbers and putting them in the fucking phone as girls and pretending like, you know what I'm saying? That's the woman you trust. The woman that loves you is can do some foul shit and then be like, yo, I'm so sorry. I love you. I made a mistake. I love you. I can't, and I understand what he's saying about not being able to condone the mistakes that people make, because just because you love me don't mean you're going to do right by me. Let's just put it like that.
Okay, I I want to flip that around for a second before I give my thoughts on it. You know, we have a large female following, ladies from all across the country and in other countries for that matter, who listen to us week over week. Ladies tend to lead with their hearts. They, you know, they see the best in men. And they'll fall in love or they'll have feelings. But should they subscribe to that same line of thinking? Go with a man you trust over a man that you love.
See, this is for a woman, it's a little bit different. You just said the magic words. Women lead with their hearts. So a man that you trust, and you know what's crazy? A man that you love, it's the same principle. It's just that women, there's an intimacy thing involved. There's the mindset involved. All that's involved in how a woman thinks. So to go with a man that she trusts, and to be quite frankly, the man that you trust is probably not even the man that you fucking want.
Woo!
How about that?
Woo!
How about the nigga that's out there and this is where so many women make this mistake. There's so many dudes that love you and trust you. That's what they always say to women with the bad boys. You want to be an asshole, you get the baddest women because women love an asshole. That's not the dude that you like. That's not the dude that you trust. Because I think women, unlike men, women, they lead with their emotions and they lead with their, like, it's hard to be intimate with a nigga you trust that you don't really love, that you don't want to be with. A nigga that's laying on top of you, humping on you and kissing on you and touching on you all in the restaurant and trying to sit up close. You like, that shit disgusts women. That shit disgusts women because they're like, I don't even like this nigga like that. But he's a good dude. So oftentimes, them dudes is like, they really should be in the friend zone, but you're like, I'm going to give this nigga a chance because he's a good dude. But you can't really force yourself to go that extra mile with him because you don't even really like him like that. But you love that dude that is out there in the club every night and he doing all this shit that probably makes no sense. It is not conducive for a fucking long-term relationship. You love that nigga. That's who you want to be with. That's who you give your income tax check to so he can promote his mixtape and shit. That's that nigga. You know what I'm saying? But it's so crazy to me because it's like, and that's what that's the thing. It's like the women is like, you don't want the dude that's right in front of you, that's best for you, that's trustworthy, that loves you to death, that wants to worship the ground you walk on. You don't want him. You walk by him every day when you go to the club. And you walk straight to that section with that nigga and 50 motherfuckers, chicks at that table. You walk right over there to be 51. Instead of stopping right there with that one man at the bar who's ready to give it up, who's ready to end it all for you. Because that's just not how women think, man. And I don't know. Call me crazy, and I'm sure people are going to disagree with me, but those are my thoughts.
Okay, but you ain't answered my question. Should ladies, should they, if you putting this in order of importance, should trust come first?
I answered the question by saying this. Trust should be at the top of the list.
So it's the top, that's number one.
It should be. Trust and loyalty, those are absolutely. But they're not. They're not, because the dude that's trustworthy, women don't seem to like the good guy. They don't seem to want to give him that opportunity, that chance to be the good guy that you say you want. So as far as I'm concerned, women should put that at the top of the list. It should be the top of everybody's list. Bro, come on. Everything is, the basis for all things is trust and loyalty. I got to trust that what you say is true and who you say you are. And I got to trust that out there in this world, you're going to be loyal to me. That's all. That's the friendships. That's boyfriend, girlfriend shit. That should be at the top of everybody's list. But for some odd reason, as much as women know it, because they're smart, we know what the riddle to the Sphinx is, but that doesn't mean that they follow it. They know that they need to do. If they really want a successful relationship, you got to trust that man that you with. But they just don't. I guess maybe it's because the dude that you can trust probably is the reason you can trust that nigga is because he ain't got no other options. And maybe they feel like that about, the good guy. The good guy ain't got no other options. Don't nobody else want that nigga. He ain't really trustworthy. He just ain't got no options. But the nigga with all the options, that's who you flock to. But you can't trust him. You can't trust him.
Yo, I gotta ask, you know, just piggybacking off of what you said, and I'm gonna hold my thoughts on everything you just spoke on. You know, I wonder if women don't give the good guys a chance, because it always seemed like women just don't want soft dudes. If a nigga weak, if a nigga come off soft, but he trustworthy, but he a good dude. He wear hard bottom shoes. He go to church. He do all that. They will run circles around this dude. They will literally abuse this dude. This the dude that get beat up by his chick, but he also the dude who want to do all right. What do you like? Why do you think women have such a hard time with soft dudes, soft but good dudes? Why can't they take a weak dude, but he's a good man?
All right. So fundamentally, I think women are always after their father, who their father was. So if your father was a big, strong man, you don't want a weak-ass dude, because a weak-ass dude, he doesn't lend you that comfort. He doesn't lend you that mindset that I'm gonna be good. Like he gonna make sure I'm good. Like I could be outside and get disrespected, and I got this soft ass nigga with me, and you know what I'm saying? And this nigga, he ain't gonna defend me. He ain't built like that. He ain't even built like that. So now you out here, you searching for the big, strong, virile dude who gonna hold you down, and he's gonna give you that support system, and he's gonna give you that, not even support system in terms of financial, I'm talking about that support in terms of you just feeling comfortable walking the face of the earth with this nigga, knowing that he gonna hold it down for you no matter what. He's a protector, he's a warrior, he's gonna hold you down. That's what women look. And women, as much as women will walk over you, if you allow them to, they don't want that dude. They don't want that dude. Now, they will take advantage of you if given the opportunity. But in the end, they will take advantage of you and then take all you got. How many times have we heard this story? Woman takes advantage of a man, takes him for everything he got, movies, dinner, blah, 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 and then goes and fucks a nigga who wouldn't give a fucking $5 for gas. Like, how many times have we heard that story? How many times has the woman been like, I'm with my man, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and she creeps off to see the other nigga who's like, yo, all right, I smashed, now you gotta go. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. Women don't respect the good guy, bro. It's been like that since the beginning of time. Women do not respect the good guy. The good guy who has all the proper intentions, don't want nothing but the best for you. Women don't respect that guy because he comes off as soft, he comes off like a sucker, and he comes off like you ain't no protector. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna handle my business with you because we're gonna get what we want to get out of this. But at the same time, and I'm not saying all women, because anything we speak about on this show is not 100%.
Correct.
We're
Correct.
talking about the majority. The majority of women want the bad guy. They want the guy who everybody else wants. They want the guy who is not trustworthy, who's not a good
So
person.
you hold on, because I ain't gonna let you go all the way down this road. You really think deep in a woman's heart she want the bad guy?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I I can't wait till we open the calls up for this one. I can't wait.
When we open up the comments, when we open up the conversation, I want you, Sean, you're gonna sit here and act like the women don't want the bad guy?
Look, I'm not giving my opinion yet. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with you.
When you give your opinion, if I know you, you're in agreement with me, because we have both walked this earth long enough to know, and we wasn't no good guy suckers. We was never that guy. We wasn't that pushover dude. And I'm looking at the comments, people like, oh no, not so true, so not true. This look at
so not true what? Hold on, because so not true what?
That women actually want the good guy.
Okay.
I'm looking at it. Women, they're cursing me out right now. Women want the good guy. You don't know what you're talking about. Bro, the fact of the matter is this. Y'all can say what y'all want to say, but if you look in the mirror and you honestly reflect on your past relationships, there have been good niggas that will give you the world, and you shitted on that nigga for that nigga across the way who is a piece of shit. The same way dudes will smash some trash-ass girl and then come home and be like, oh, baby, I'm sorry. She meant nothing to me. It was just, that's the way men think. That's the way women think. Men will have Halle Berry in their bed every single night and go fuck the ugly duckling from the club. Women will have the best man in the world in her bed and be running behind this dope boy nigga that's out here buying bottles at the club. It is the way it is. It is the way it has always been. Not 100%, but goddamn it close to it. And I stand on that.
Okay, for anybody who's joining us a little late, the conversation started off. Floyd Mayweather made a comment that was pretty. It was insightful, coming from the side of a man, especially somebody as wealthy and has as much access as he does. He said, "I'd rather a woman I trust over a woman I love." Here's what, Rich?
Here's the last thing I'm gonna say on this right here.
Go ahead.
Women think they can change dudes. So part of that whole thing is a woman is getting a bad guy, thinks he's a bad guy, knows he's a bad guy, but in her mind, she thinks she could change him. You can't.
Rich, you preaching tonight. Whoa.
Go ahead, Sean. I want to hear you.
No, go ahead.
That's it. That was my. It just really came to me because I was like, why do women do that? Why are women like that? Why do women bypass the dude? Because first of all, they want it all. So they want that big, strong, virile dude who's gonna make you feel good out there in the streets. But then they want the good guy. So you think in your mind you can make the bad guy the good guy, but you can't make the soft nigga a strong nigga. You can't give him weight. You can't give him, you know what I'm saying? If he's soft, he's soft. But if you look at the big guy, you'd be like, well, he got that part. He's a big, strong dude. He gonna hold me down. I'm gonna feel comfortable with him. He got that part down. Now let me train this dude to be the good guy. And that's where y'all fuck up at. Trying to think that you're going to train this dude to be the good guy. You're giving this nigga your fucking your income tax to go promote his mixtape and put tents on this fucking Honda Accord, and you doing all this silly shit, and this nigga's riding around with them same dog tents because he hiding bitches in the backseat.
Good, Rick. Okay, you got it out?
Yep.
All right. So here's my thoughts, and I'm gonna tell you, I actually really thought about this because I knew since last week's show when we touched on this, I knew we were gonna open up the show with this. So I was like, yo, Sean, where do you really stand with this whole you rather be with a woman you trust over a woman you love? I'm gonna start it off different, right?
Okay.
One of my you know, one of my pet peeves in life is people who settle, right? I remember when I was young and my mother would bring me to church, and I would see couples in church, and you know, they'd be celebrating 35, 45, 50 years of marriage, and they'd be walking slow, and you know, oh, I want to, you know, thank God for my companion and this and that. And I remember even as a child, I would look at them and I would be like, yo, that's exactly what I don't want. Like, they look like they haven't even touched each other. Like, like physically touched each other. They don't hold hands. Their relationship is more companionship. It's familiarity. It's, I know her, she knows me, we got 100 years together, and this is just what it is. And truth be told, I promise you, I thought about this. I gotta have it both, man. I gotta have it both ways. I'm not a dude. You know me personally and professionally, and you know from a professional level, I can't even settle. If I don't love something anymore, I can't do it. I can't put, like you know me, and you know what I'm saying is 100% real. If I don't have the passion, if I feel like this ain't something I can give my heart, my soul, my spirit to, I'm gonna pass on the money. For me, money has always been the reward for doing something I just love to do. I have fun with it. I'm great at it. And the money just flows. So it's the same way in relationships. Maybe, you know, I just haven't got to that point, but I really think if I can't love you and trust you at the same time, if I can't, one is not higher than the other. I'm not making you my wife. I'm not claiming you. I'm not showing, I'm not saying you're the one. If I can't, number one, trust you in a room full of hard dicks, and number two, feel as though, yo, you know, it's something so special about, out of all the women on planet Earth, I choose you. Not that you chose me. You might choose me, but it gotta be reciprocal. I choose you. And I'm just not at a place in my life that I can have one without the other. Real talk. Like for me, I need them both. So I don't live Floyd Mayweather's life, right? Mm-hmm. In his position, he got a lot of zeros behind his name. So, and he got a lot of women that come in and out of his life. So I can understand the mindset. I need somebody I could trust. But to me, what good is that? And you have said on this very show multiple times, yo, I'm comfortable being alone. I'm good with it. And I share your sentiments. You know, I got somebody I'm very happy with. I make that 100% clear. But don't think for a second if she wasn't in the picture, God forbid something happened or whatever, I'm comfortable sitting right in this crib with my feet up, doing what you do, year in and year out, because if I can't have that feeling, if I can't have that thing, I don't want it. Real talk. So that's number one. Number two, we switched it around, right? We took Floyd's question and we inverted it and said, yo, should women, you know, should they come with the perspective of first trust, then love? And honestly, I think that I would agree with you on this one. Because women lead with their hearts so much, I'm almost taking my advice for Sean and I'm putting it on the shelf. And I'm saying, women, really look for that good dude, that guy you can trust. And hopefully you love him from there. Because when you are strictly dealing on emotion, strictly dealing on the fact that he made you feel like no other man has ever made you feel in the bedroom, or you have been, you know, outside, you haven't been in a relationship for some time, and this dude paid you some attention, and he got you all of a sudden, you know, thinking 10 steps in advance, like, yo, I like him. You know, he seemed like a good dude. You're leading with your emotion. You should be leading with, let me get to know this dude. Let me get to understand who he is as a man first. And then if there is emotions that couple with that, then I'm all in. But it's enough garbage dudes out here, and it's enough dudes out here who take advantage of women and see women coming. Like you're a man just like I'm a man. We see women coming. Like a nigga know when he can run circles around a chick. That's why dudes who, you know, and I don't want to throw them further under the bus, but the R. Kelly type niggas who are dating these young chicks. Nigga, of course you can do the garbage you was doing to them. Like they don't have the maturity you have. They don't have the experience you have. You can run circles around them. You can mess with their head, and before they know it, they caught up in something that, yo, I don't even know how I got here. Yep. Like real talk. I don't even know how. And dudes see that. A nigga is like you know those cadaver dogs that they bring out when somebody's missing, and they give you like a piece of somebody's clothes and be like, go get them, find them. It is literally niggas is that. That's how men are. Like a nigga, especially a dirtbag nigga, a nigga who all he know is hitting it and quitting. Nigga could spot a desperate chick. A nigga could spot a chick.
Nigga said dudes are cadaver dogs.
Real talk, like a nigga could spot one from a mile away, and right. He is on it, and he will tell you everything you want to hear. A nigga, and here's the crazy part. A nigga, I mean, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but a nigga, no, I'm gonna go in with the best dick she ever had. I'm going in and I'm touching spots and I'm moving things inside of her that ain't never ever been touched, because once I got her, once her emotions is in it, I'm getting everything out of her. So before you even get to that point, I guess I'll close it from here. That's why we always say, yo, vet them out. Make sure their actions align with their words. Make sure that make sure you take your time before you get into something and realize I might love him, but I can't trust him. And he just put me through hell for the last however many years of my life. That's my thoughts on it.
You know what? I hear what you're saying. I agree with you. It's almost like you preaching to the choir. Like, I almost feel like women know, and they too agree, and they too, from a perspective of being like, yo, I understand what he's saying, but it's in giving advice and taking the advice, I understand it, but for some odd reason, they just something, they get messed up, and it doesn't go like that. We've seen it. Women, this is like common sense 101. This is like common sense. You want to find a dude, you want to vet a dude, you want to meet a dude who want to be there for you, who wants to do things for you, who wants to be loyal to you, he wants to be trustworthy. But if he has all those things on that side, but he ain't the man you want him to be, he ain't the big, strong, virile dude you want him to be, he don't say nigga enough, he don't be at the club enough, whatever the case may be, he don't call you a bitch when he mad, like, Whatever that, if that, like, it's almost like women like toxic, bro. It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. And maybe as women grow older, maybe they get out of that toxicity. But it seems to me that women like toxic. And if you don't come home and she's not a bitch and a hoe when you mad at her, and you don't call your boys nigga when you on the phone, and you ain't in the club, and you ain't, you a sucker to them. You a sucker to them. People, you can just, yo, listen, we open up the phone lines for y'all, so whenever y'all ready to jump in, y'all had to hit the button on the bottom. We do that with 8 o'clock. Sean, what time we do that? 9 o'clock?
No, 8:30.
8:30, we start taking people. So if you got something you want to say, pop yourself in, hit the plus button in the bottom at the bottom inside that video camera, and let's have a conversation. Because I don't have to be right, but I've been around enough women personally. I know enough women from a platonic standpoint that I know how their relationships operate. I have sisters. I have spoken to people, and they like, yo, he's such a good dude. I talked to Monique, and Monique tell me yo, he's a good dude. He treats me good. Rich, he treats me good. But he just is a sucker. And I can't be with a sucker. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I live in a different world than y'all live in. So I don't know.
Yo,
but
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Huh?
Go ahead. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, I tell you, me and you have both been in the same world. And I'm not talking about an industry. I'm not talking about music industry or TV or sports or none of that shit. I'm talking about regular people at fucking Target right now shopping. That girl that's at the register 3 do not want a sucker in her life. It's just, she just don't.
Yo, you just said something that I got to touch on before I forget. I'm an old man. I'll be forgetting things quick. You said a woman wants that toxic dude, but we live in a world now with a buzzword and everything, toxic masculinity. No woman wants that. Are you saying subconsciously they're seeking it out, and when they get it, they're actually calling it toxic masculinity, but you sought it out to begin with? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Wow. You are out here, and there's a dude who will never call you out your name. He's never gonna make you feel. He's never gonna be that dude. He's never gonna be that big old masculine, strong dude that kind of imposing. He's never gonna be imposing to you. And you don't want him because he appears to be soft and he doesn't give you that comfort. But when you go and you seek out that dude and he brings that masculinity to the house and he brings it up close and personal, now it's toxic masculinity. Now you're afraid of it. Now it's overbearing. Now it's that dude he's imposing his will on you. He's making you feel uncomfortable within your 4 feet of space. All of that kind of shit. With that being said, you chose that dude. Like you can't say I want a dude who totes a gun and then get mad when he shoots. You can't say I want a dude with money and then get mad at how he make it, or he can't spend time with you because you make it. Damn, Rich. Wow. That's a give and a take, bro. That's a give and a take. So if you want the dude that's soft, and I'm not saying, and we're saying soft, but I don't want to make nobody feel like we trying to down a nigga. We're not saying soft like he pussy. We're saying like he just ain't that dude. He's willing to do things for you. He's willing to be there for you. He wants to be in your corner. He doesn't want to call you out your name when he's angry. He wants to leave the house if y'all argue and take a walk. He doesn't want to sit there and argue with you and bitches and hoes and niggas and pussy niggas and fuck niggas. And y'all, we don't want to do that. This dude don't want none of that. You will bypass that dude because you don't feel comfortable with that dude. And then when that big, strong dude comes in, and then he comes in and now when y'all get into an argument, he's in your 4 feet. It's toxic masculinity. It's toxic masculinity.
Now he's imposing his will. You're so much bigger than me. Why are you doing that? But you wanted me because I'm bigger than you. I'm bigger than you when we outside. I make you feel comfortable. But when we inside, I can't even. Now I'm supposed to what? Shrink? I'm gonna be. I gotta be the same person. I gotta be the same person. If that person that makes you feel comfortable outside is the person that makes you a little bit nervous inside, then I don't know what to tell you. But that's what you gotta. That's what women have. That you have the power to make the decision of who you want to be with. Do you want to feel comfortable outside, or do you want to feel comfortable inside? Make up your mind. Because the dude that's gonna make you feel comfortable inside probably ain't the dude that's gonna make you feel comfortable outside. Just from a rule of thumb. Now there are some dudes, and you find that dude, and you found a dude who can do both. You find yourself a winner. God bless you, my girl. You got a winner. Keep him. Don't protect that nigga at all costs. But most niggas ain't both. Most people ain't gonna be able to turn it off and on and be two different people, because oftentimes the realness comes out. Now I might be I might be two different people when we dating or when I'm trying to smash, because in my mind, the most important thing is for me to get to the ends justifies the means. I don't need to argue with you. I'm trying to fuck. So I'm walk away. Okay, you're right about everything. But now once that as they call it, the representative goes away, and you start getting real, then 2 months later, you bitches and hoes, and you wondering what the fuck this potty mouth nigga come from. This is who I always been. And I'm not speaking about me personally. I'm just saying as a rule. This is who I've always been. But you didn't take the time to vet. You didn't take the time to figure out who this person really is, and you let them fool you. When the mask comes off, you've been fooled. Because now there's the toxic masculinity and I thought I found the perfect dude. He would never curse at me in the house, and outside he's a thug. But now as I get to know him, I find out this nigga's a thug inside, outside, in between, on the elevator, in the car. This nigga trying to put me out on the block. That's the truth, man. But like I say, y'all want to have the conversation? We had a conversation at 8:30.
Oh, I can't wait to open these phone lines tonight. All right, I'm gonna switch topics for a second. You know, we didn't bring this up. I think it's like the last 2 weeks. Your man Nick Cannon, he had his 12th kid. But I don't even want to touch on him. But you forwarded me something. I don't know how real it is, but I figured we'd talk about it on the show. Mariah Carey, his first couple of children were with her, and now she is I mean, them kids got to be damn near grown by now.
Yeah,
definitely teenagers. Yeah, they're definitely teenagers. Mm-hmm. But she's going for primary custody. After the 12 kids, she said enough is enough. Is this, in your opinion, revenge? Is she looking at this like, yo, you know, you're showing my kids something that I don't even believe in and I don't want them to see, and I'm going to regulate how you come in and out of my children's life, and she's doing the responsible thing? Or is this a case of, you know, somebody looking and saying, yo, like, I want primary custody for all the wrong reasons? Because up until now, I mean, these kids is teenagers. They got to be at least 12. She never, you know, to my knowledge, there was never a need for her to petition the courts to have primary custody in the twins' lives.
You ready?
Yeah.
So first of all, let's start the conversation by saying this. Mariah Carey's Mariah Carey. There's a certain amount of exclusivity that comes with being Mariah Carey. Being Mariah Carey, for lack of a better word, means that you're better than the rest of these women. I don't need Nick Cannon's money. I got more money than Nick Cannon. Every Christmas, I make $10, $15 million just off this stupid album that I did for fun, right? For real. I'm better than these women. I thought when we got together that you were better. But now, and you know I love Nick, but now you're showing me that you're not even worthy of that from me. You're not even worthy to have been with me. So now I got to take my kids out of this equation because, nigga, you're taking away the exclusivity of our relationship. Like, you have kids with me. Mariah Carey would never go lay down with 50 million men and let them impregnate her. That she would not, that's unheard of to her. And the fact that these little women, these Instagram women that you're paying to have babies with and giving them money, and because it ain't time and it ain't father, so it's just really two things. It's a last name and it's some financial security. Mariah probably looks down upon that. She probably looks down on that. And she's like, yo, you out here, like, I don't want my kids around that type of shit. Like, I got hundreds of millions of dollars. And you bringing these $2 girls and getting them all pregnant, and now my kids got to go play in that playbox? No, bro. I'm making the decisions now. I'm making the decisions from here on out. No, I don't even, and I can't, and honestly, Sean, from a perspective of how this is all going down, and I preface this by saying, y'all know I love Nick. That's my guy. But now the girls are arguing. Now some of the girls pop out and he's not spending time with the kids. Now all the stuff that was involved in this NDA that you all signed is going out the window. And now you're just looking bad out here. These women are it was a financial thing. It was absolutely a financial thing, bro. Because any woman who really wants to give it any kind of thought knows that ain't no nigga finna spend time with 12 different kids in all different locales. Fuck different cities. I'm talking about different states. You just physically cannot be and then maintain the work schedule that he maintains. Nick DJs, niggas hosting shows. He's all over the place doing all kinds of stuff. You can't physically be in more than one place at more than one time. It's just the rule of life. It's impossible. So these women did this not because they thought that they were going to have a great life for their child, not because they thought that this was the amazing thing and Nick loves me, because it's impossible to love 12 women equally. Like this, it's impossible to love 12 kids equally. It's impossible, especially if you don't spend no time around them. So now, all this is coming out. The women are beefing. Everybody's angry. The women are on Instagram and Twitter talking about he's a fucking Instagram father. He only comes around to take pictures for the kids. First of all, I don't feel sorry for none of y'all because you signed off on that. And you knew what you were signing up for. And you're getting everything you thought you was going to get. Now, you was hoping for something else. But in your heart of hearts, you got everything you knew you was going to get. This nigga is not doing anything that you didn't think he was going to do because it's physically impossible to really do anything else. Now, back to the original question, Mariah don't want no part of that. She don't want no part of that. Now you tainting my shit. Now you fucking with my shit. Now you dragging me into this dirtball shit. I don't want no parts of it. So you know what? I'm gonna do primary custody, nigga. I'll make the decisions around here. You come around when I say you come around. You do what I say you do, and that's what it is. And that's how she feel. And in the big scheme of life, because it's her, I can't be mad. And if it was one of the other women who signed up for this, it's not about status for me. It's not about, oh, Mariah Carey deserves better because she's Mariah Carey. No, Mariah Carey got married to this man, had kids with this man. They broke up, and now this man is on a baby-making sprint. She didn't sign up for that. So she does not want that in her life, and she feels like, I guess this is her taking control of that. To me, this is her taking control of that.
Okay, understand every word you said. And if that is the case, isn't this more punitive? Because I heard everything you said, except that Nick is not a good father to her children. And if he's been a good father to those children, I get Mariah Carey the brand. I get Mariah Carey the icon, the singer, the woman who, like you said, makes $10-15 million every Christmas because that Christmas song now is bigger than Nat King Cole's Christmas song or any of those other classics. I get it. But even if she didn't sign up for this, she couldn't have saw this coming. His first children were with her, and vice versa. But it feels almost punitive if this is everything outside of the fact that unless now that he has 10 more children, you're not spending quality time with my kids. And you're promising things and you're not showing up because you're all over the place. You got to visit this one, you got to visit that one. When the kids are with you, they're with the nanny. So you're hurting my children. But if this is strictly about her brand, it feels more punitive. It feels like more of a punishment than the fact that he's not being a good father to those twins. And that I disagree with.
Well, she recently, now I have to agree with you somewhat on this. Now, she recently went on the internet and said he's not spending time with her kids either. Mariah Carey said that. So now with that being said, when you are at that level, and you and I both know people who are at that level, we're not talking about the obvious, we're talking about a bunch of artists. And people who are not even at her level, but they feel like they are because they're just popping for today. We know how much your brand means to you, how much the perception means to you, how much the exclusivity means to you. So do I think that this is partially what you just said? Absolutely. Absolutely. She's punishing him for embarrassing her. That's the bottom line. There's some punishment there because you're embarrassing me with your antics. The shit you're doing is embarrassing me. Like, you are my husband and my baby daddy, and my kids got to go to school, and this is the whole thing. I don't know if they're homeschooled or not, but whatever the case may be, they got to be out, and this is the shit that they look at. This is the shit that they got to deal with every day. So with that, obviously there's some punishment involved in that. But at the same time, in her mind, and I would never say this because I don't know, but I'm going to say this because it's a feeling that when you're at that level with that much success, there's nothing more important to you than who you are in maintaining that success. So it's like we working in the industry that we've worked in, we've seen people who have done amazing things. But in order for you to have done it, being that amazing at something is a gift and a curse. Because it means there's some shit that didn't get done. Because you're such an amazing football player, that means that there was some shit that didn't get done. Because you was on the field and you traveling the world and you were making $1 billion and trying to buy up all the stocks in the market and everything, that means that you probably weren't home. And when you weren't, you missed some soccer games because you were on a fucking business trip. And that's just the way life is. So at that level of success, who you are, what you built, what you considered that you built, is as important as anything else in your life. And that goes for your kids as well. Or else motherfuckers would just disappear every time they got enough money to be happy with. They would just disappear and go raise children and be soccer moms and dads. And there are some that do that, but there are some who still tour. They still tour 100 days out of 352. That's 1/3 of the week. You're gone. That money's still important. Them concerts are still important. That money's getting out there and doing what you do is still important. So
you know, Rich, and we only got about another 10 minutes, so I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say quick. Maybe we bring up another subject before we open the phone lines up. But I hear everything you're saying, and truth of the matter is, you have worked, befriended, been around very, very successful people, just like I have. Celebrities, people behind the scenes who are worth millions and billions. But at the end of the day, I don't give a crap how many movies you made, how many hit records you made. I don't care how much money you got in the bank. Jenny from the block is still Jenny from the block. And what I mean by that is, okay, great, you're J-Lo now, but you're still that same Puerto Rican chick from the South Bronx. And just because you have a few million in the bank, and just because the world knows you, I feel this in every fiber of my being. Kids are always off limits. And I don't care about your status. I don't care about your brand. I don't care about none of that. If a nigga's being a good father to your child, leave him alone. I don't care how many other kids. If he's prioritizing your children, now it's different if he can't. It's different if when the kids are with him, he's an absentee dad, even though the kids are with him. They're with the nanny. He's on 50 million conference calls, talking to them in between. I get all of that. But if this is punishment because you messing up kids are off limits. And if a father's a good father, leave that nigga alone. Leave him alone. If a mother's a good mother, I hate dudes who when the kids are with them, they poisoning the kids against their mother. Leave that woman alone. She don't want you no more. End the story. Like kids. So I just believe. I don't buy into. I know enough well-to-do people to know they just people. You're not special. You are just as human as I am, as Richie is, as anybody else. I know the world loves you. She's just a human being. Like in the story. And people sometimes forget that. And the individuals themselves sometimes forget that.
Oftentimes. Yes,
oftentimes. Even as I'm listening to you speak and you talking about her brand, I'm like, screw her. If the nigga, now I don't know Nick. You know him. I don't know if he's a good father to those kids. I just know that them kids, there was never a need for primary custody. And if this is strictly punitive, she's wrong. Now, if it's to protect the kids because he is an absentee dad even when he's around, then so be it. Mariah, do everything you got to do to protect your children. But if this is strictly a brand thing, nah, I can't rock with that.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Mariah kids out playing.
Yep.
One of them comes home, mommy. They're talking about daddy at the park. They're talking about daddy at school. They're saying he's out here sleeping with a bunch of women. He got sickle cell traits, yada, yada, yada. What's daddy doing, Mom? How does that affect now that because they're old enough?
Yep.
And social media, every time a baby pop out, the world knows there's no secret, right? Now these kids are starting to see that and they're asking questions. Is she still, but in the bigger picture is, in her mind, she's protecting herself and her brand, but on the other side of that, she's also now getting asked questions. So now she has to go and say and speak to these points that these kids are coming home to. And now it goes into mommy mode. And I gotta protect my children mode. Now how do you what's your answer to that? Because now these kids, now it's almost like the embarrassment that you felt, now you feel like these kids might be feeling that same embarrassment. So now you got to protect these kids.
I stand firm on what I said. If he's a good father, just like if she's a good mother, I'm from the hood. Nigga, I know niggas who ain't see their father for the first 15 years of their life because their father was locked up. And their mother was on that bus taking them kids up to the penitentiary to visit their father.
Come on, Sean.
No, it's the same principle. And I'm going to tell you why. You said, and I don't want to out her, and she's such a great example of this, but somebody we work with at Bad Boy, her father did something like 37 years. And she got, and he was part of a very high profile case in New York City. Killed a cop. You probably know who I'm talking about, but I don't want to out her. But her mother, she got to an age where kids was asking her questions. Her father was all in the newspaper. Her mother took her up there to visit her father. And even from the penitentiary behind the wall, he was the best father he could be. Her mother could have looked at it like, yo, I'm protecting you. Yes, because you're hearing things. Your father killed a cop. Or she could have looked at it like, yo, this is the circumstances I got to deal with. And this man is a good man to his child. And I don't care, you know, I just recently, I don't know how Instagram figures this out. I don't even follow the dude, but C Murder. His stuff is starting to pop up on my feed. C Murder got life without parole. And in the last few posts, like that dude got an IG account from behind the wall, and he's posting pictures of him and his daughters and his nieces coming to see him. Son, like sometimes life ain't black and white. It's shades of gray all through it. And if it's a case of protection, so be it. I'm with you. I'm your biggest cheerleader. But if it's punitive, I can't rock with that. It's as simple as that.
I don't, it's hard for me because obviously I have an affinity for dude, but at the same time, I'll give you an example. You just brought up C Murder. Mm-hmm. Monica is actually legendarily hood for how she maintains that C Murder relationship. Like, she's like, Monica is the down, funny chick. Do we think Mariah is that chick though? Did we ever think that Mariah was that chick?
I don't care. I don't care. If it's protection, she's protecting her kids, I can rock with you. I don't care who you are. I'm never going to co-sign a woman or man stepping in the middle or poisoning or preventing the other parent who is a good parent from seeing their kids because of your insecurities or because of your bull crap. I don't care. Mariah, get over yourself. Real talk. Get over yourself. Now, if he's a bad father, by all means, take him to court, give primary custody. He can only see the kids when you want to see him. I'm all with that. But if he's a good father, nah, I'm sorry. I don't care if you Mariah or if you the Pope or the President Obama and Michelle break up. I don't care.
On its merits, I could not argue at all with you. On your argument on its merits, I cannot argue at all. But just like you just said earlier, I don't want to go too deep into people. We both know how niggas is built. And you're asking somebody that you know ain't that person to be that person.
Hold on one second. We're about to open the phone lines after Richie is done with this point. If you are trying to enter the conversation, now is the time to hit that plus button. Now's the time to hit the plus button. That alerts us that you want to be part of the conversation. Number one, you must be in a well-lit location. Number two, you must be willing to show your face. Number three, you must be somewhere with good Wi-Fi or good cellular service. And number four, we welcome your thoughts on anything that we spoke about. But you must have a question, because we use this part of the conversation for people who are looking to get a man's point of view on things that they're going through in their own relationships, in their own situations. But go ahead, Rich.
Nothing. I'm gonna leave it alone. I just think that maybe she felt it was time to take control of this shit. And like I said, on its merits, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. If Nick is holding taking care of his kids, and he's being a good father, and he's doing the things he needs to do from a parenting standpoint, then you're right. There should be no decision making. This should be joint custody. There should be joint decisions. There should be joint everything. But I think in the bigger picture, an argument on its merits, we take away the personal aspect of that argument, and who, personality-wise, we know who people are. And sometimes that you have to be who you are. And if I'm suing my sister, if my sister's suing me for, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we go through life and we, like, you know who Richie is, sometimes you have to look and you be like, Richie's not that person. Richie's not that person. On the merits, he should be. And this is what it should be. But you and I both know that Richie's not that person. So expecting him to do something just because it's the right thing to do, or this is what the normal thing to do, we know that nigga's not normal.
But here's a deal, Rich, and I want to open the phone lines up because they've been so good for the last few weeks. There's some niggas out here who's dirtbags. They're not to be trusted. They treated their women horrendously. They're damn good fathers. Like they're damn good fathers. Like, you can't take that away. He take care of his kids. I can't trust him. I wouldn't trust him. But when it comes to his kids, he's a damn good father. You can't punish that man for what he did to you. You can't. You can't punish that man because he's no longer with you. If he's doing right by his kids, get over yourself. Chalk it up as a loss. Go find somebody who treats you the way you deserve to be treated, but let that man be in them kids' life. I just think kids are always off limits unless you're protecting them.
So what, you think that she's trying to keep the kids from him?
I don't know. I really don't know. I was asking you because I just don't know. I only commented on when you were talking about her brand. And I'm like, yo, if that's what it is, then you know, and this is all hypothetical because we really don't know. So we just using this as a broader conversation. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's open the phones. Let's see what we got. And I think some people gonna chew you out for your comments earlier.
Yeah, they may. They may.
Yeah, I know you up for it.
Always. Let me know if Shorty's coming in.
I'll tell you on this side. Nobody so far. If you're trying to get in the conversation, please hit the plus button below.
Be Canada. Be Canada.
Nope.
Gemini twin. Gemini twin.
Yep.
What's up, y'all?
Who we got? Who we got?
Okay, so y'all was talking about.
Hold on. With your name?
Okay, so my stage name is Chloe, and you know, but
Chloe.
Yeah.
Chloe? Where you coming in from? Where you coming in from?
Florida.
Okay, nice to meet you, Chloe. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. So my perspective on that is basically if Mariah, on like anybody's business. If they, whatever they do in their bedroom, that's their business. Like, first and foremost, like, that's first. Second and foremost, if Mariah wants to separate her kids from the hoopla of the other, you know, whatever it is, right? She has a right to do so. She's a woman. She knows what's right for her kids. If she decides that's something she wants to do, she should do it. I mean, a man will do what a man's going to do. However, but you have to set the example for your kids. You have to set the example to lead. If you are not a leader, then you are a follower. And if you're a follower, then you're going to fail. So therefore, you have to set that bar where the kids understand, okay, daddy and mommy does this, and, you know, this is how you treat love. This is how love and understanding. But when it comes to that, there are restrictions. There are restrictions on how you, the tolerance of, you know, what is right and what's wrong. There's so much someone can say, yes, I'll tolerate, but there's a limit to my tolerance, right? So therefore, if you can't speak your truth and show the actions behind it, how are you going to be a better person?
I don't. Are you defending? I'm not totally clear on what you're saying here.
Okay, so my whole point is, if they decide that they don't want their kids involved, the parent has a right to do so.
So you're saying,
if I don't want you to be up in no TV cameras or nothing like that, I'm the parent. You have got to set the example. I'm the parent. This is what I set for my house. This is what is going to be understood. And this is how you're going to conduct yourself. So if I don't want my child around any sort of anybody, I'm going to tell you straight up, right? So therefore, it's the same sense of tolerance. When it comes to tolerance, how much can you tolerate, and how much can you say, you know, this is where the line's drawn. Does that make sense for you?
You got
it does. Go ahead, Rich.
Okay, no, I was going to say, so basically, essentially what you're saying is that Mariah has the latitude to be able to do what she wants to do. That's what she feels is best for her kids. And if she don't want her kids to be, and if she don't want her kids to be part of that circus, then she can take those kids away from that, eradicate that bullshit, and from there,
that's right.
The mother.
Exactly. First and foremost, Mariah has been known from the 90s. The best whistle, the best everything. So if you're going into her world, you got to understand the expectation of what a hierarchy in the music industry is like. She knows what she wants. She knows how she wants it. And this is, and if you come into that section before I even marry you, you got to accept, okay, I don't like to go to the bathroom at this time. I don't like to turn the lights on at this time. I don't like to watch movies. I like to watch TV shows. I like to do this. I like to do that. So after a year, if you accept that as an adult, you're going to go ahead and say to yourself, okay, will I tolerate this, or do I walk away? Right? So it is the same concept with everything in life. You meet someone, you get to know them. It's either you can tolerate what their tics are and try to compromise to make yourself a better person, or make the whole house a better place, right? But if you derail from that and you see someone else, that means there are temptations. That means there's underlining things that you don't have explored. Or if you constantly keep having sex, that's something, to me, this is my own opinion. My own opinion is that you will basically, you're trying to figure out if this is, you know, the satisfaction that you need in life, because it's only a temporary satisfaction. It's like any other drug. Sex is like any other drug. If you keep having it, you get addicted to it. And if you feel that you can con your partner into finding someone else, it catches up to you. And then when it catches up to you and you know, you get that pie in your face, then you're like, Nah, I didn't do all that. Nah, but nah. But nowadays you can't lie about nothing. You can't get away with nothing. So first and foremost, you will get receipts to show that this person's been doing this, right? So therefore, why not try to just be who you are and just be truthful? Because for me, when I find that you love and you show love unconditionally, it reflects in your own soul as an individual, right? It shows who you are as a person. And if you're not showing love, it seems like everything else in your world goes bad. So in the same sense, like, why go through all of that when you put out all that energy when you can really and truly just be a good person in the first place? Like, if you know you're gonna fuck around, go fuck around. Don't get somebody wrapped up in your world and all that BS. Just keep fucking around. Keep it the fuck moving, right?
All right. So, Chloe, thanks for your insight, right? First and foremost,
Yeah.
I hear every word you're saying. Rich, do you want to give your thoughts?
Now you go ahead.
On this? Here's my thoughts on what you said, and I don't know, you were kind of going somewhere else, so I'm only going to attack the part about the kids, right?
Right. Go ahead.
Because that's a sensitive spot for me. Let's reverse the tables here, because it's easy to talk about bad fathers because there's so many bad fathers out there.
It's not necessarily
Hold on, Chloe. You can't. You gotta let somebody else speak for a second.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Mark Anthony was married to Jennifer Lopez. They had twins, just like Nick and Mariah had twins. Mark Anthony is arguably a bigger star than Jennifer Lopez. They both are global icons. But since those kids have been born, she's had primary custody, and she has also had about 10 different niggas in and out of those kids' life publicly. So based on what you're saying here, and I'm all with protecting my children. They have a boy and a girl. Mark Anthony should be able to come in and say, what are you teaching my daughter? I don't want my daughter having men in and out of her life. Jennifer Lopez just got married to Ben Affleck, and she was engaged to A-Rod no less than 2 months earlier. Should he come down on her? Should he? I don't want. Hold on, Chloe. Chloe, I listened to you for 20. Just let me get my thoughts out.
Okay.
And then you can say. And I'm gonna go back to my original point, and I'll wrap, and I'll give it to you and Rich. Y'all can dive. I am all the way with protecting your children. I am. So if Mark Anthony is looking in, or some man out there is looking in and saying, I don't want all these dudes in and out of my kid's life, and you're setting a poor example, do what you got to do. But if that person is being a good parent, you can't be mad if they're being a good parent and they're doing what they're supposed to do. And I don't want to hear this celebrity crap. I don't, because you just went on some whole tangent about celebrities and you coming into, I don't care. They're people. They are people, first and foremost. And I think that we as the general public put these people on a pedestal and act like they are more human than we are. And they're not. It is just about, are you a good parent to my child? If you're not, then I want primary custody, or we got to change the arrangement. But you got it back, Chloe and Rich. You can take it from there.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with that. They are people, and people do make mistakes. But when you constantly make the same mistake, it becomes a pattern. And once you have a pattern, if someone is accustomed or acknowledges that pattern, if you go into that world of that pattern, don't bitch and complain about it. Don't. because they're already set in their ways, right? So even as a parent, like I look up to women mostly because women are earth, women are everything. Women sometimes have to be the man and the woman for their kids. So it's not necessarily about your celebrity status. I'm just saying in a broad span, as a person that's been in the spotlight from she's been in her teens, I'm just saying as in a general aspect, you cannot go into someone's world and expect overnight, a year, 2 years, for me to stop drinking champagne and calling you darling every single minute.
I don't know what this has to do with the kids, though.
What I'm trying to say is, you can't change a zebra's stripes. No matter how much you
have to do with the kids?
A zebra to be a donkey, it's still going to be a zebra.
But what does this have to do with the children?
The children, however, children love their parents first and foremost. Whoever the parent who shows them the most love, that's who they're going to gravitate towards. Okay? So if you're co-parenting with two parents that are bi-coastal, the thing is to always be there for that child, period. Always. There's no excuse. I don't know how many kids you want to play Santa, you want to play dress up, I don't care. Be there for your kids. Bottom line. Because who's going to change your diaper when you get old? Who's going to remind you that this is your house? Who's going to take you to your doctor's appointment? So I could care less how many kids you have. You just show love, because love is unconditional. Love should not hurt. Love should never make you question who's the better parent. If you continuously show love, everything is a whiteout. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everything is a whiteout. Be there for your kids and understand your kids. Because if you don't understand them, they're not going to understand you. I don't care how much knowledge you think you might have.
We appreciate your thoughts and your input, Chloe. Thank you so much for your insight.
All right, Chloe.
Peace out, y'all.
Later.
Now, this is what I will say. I agree with you, Sean, but I also, let's be real with the double standard. Let's be real that there are a lot of kids that would probably be better positioned to be with their father than their mother. It's just not how it works. So the J-Lo and the Mark Anthony versus the Nick and Mariah thing, Mariah is the mother. Those kids have been with her. Jennifer Lopez is the mother. Those kids have been with her. There's two different trains of thought about those two women and how those children are being up and how J-Lo's been and moved around and done her thing. But the reality is the mothers will always have the opportunity to be bad mothers way more than the fathers will have an opportunity to be bad fathers. A mother is going to be, we can go to my baby moms. We can do that. Fuck it, let's do it. Christian should have been with me, but she wasn't. But she's with her mom. And all the things that we both know happened down there were horrible things. But because she's the mother, she will always have that one up because she gave birth. She was pregnant. She's the custodial parent. You're born a custodial parent unless something happens at birth. The mother will always be the person that gets to make those decisions. So a father will always be judged way more than a mother's judged. And that's just the double standard of how parenting works. A father will always be judged more so than the mother, because the mother, by virtue of pregnancy, having the baby, she's the one that that maintains that power. So I guess the point I'm making is that Mariah is in a position of power where Nick is not in a position of power. And no matter how good of a father is, if she deems that she doesn't want it to be that way because of what it's doing to the children or what the children are seeing or what she feels they're going through, she has the power to make that decision. She has the power to say, I don't want my children looking at the fucking news, looking at all this bullshit with this man and all this nonsense that's going on. She has the power to do that. Whereas a man doesn't have that power. We just don't.
I think where the disconnect is I'm not arguing right, wrong. I'm not arguing power. I'm not arguing what is generally acceptable in society. I'm speaking of motive and strictly motive, nothing more. And I'm only going against the original statement you made of why you believe this woman is petitioning for primary custody. If her motive has anything else to do, if it doesn't have to do with protecting her children, then I'm against it. That's it. If it's punitive because you're messing with my brand, if it's punitive because of any other reason, and people do it every day. Women, you know, Rich, and I don't want to get to the callers, but women will, and men do this too. They will talk bad about the other parent for every other reason that has to do with me and the other parent. None of that to me matters. If that other parent is good to those kids, leave that parent alone. That's the only thing I'm arguing.
Okay.
I'm only arguing motive. But let's get the callers in. Me and you had enough dialogue tonight.
SB want to get in this conversation so bad.
I want SB. We gonna bring you in, but I want to. Here we go. You know, let my girl SB. I was gonna save you for later, but go ahead.
So yeah, I agree with you 100%. First things first.
Will you agree with who? Me or Richie?
No. On the Mariah situation, Prez, I agree with you 100%. If a guy is a good father, then there's no reason why anything that you feel personally should come in between that man being a father to his kid.
Being realistic.
Rich, that's it.
So here's the thing, right? My mother, listen, hold on, listen. For example, my parents were married. They had 4 children together. My mother and father split because my father cheated. Sometimes my father did what he was supposed to do as a dad. Sometimes he didn't. My mother never went to court for child support, and she never stopped him from coming to see us or picking us up or spending time with us, whatever the case may be. Whatever she felt about him personally never had any bearings on how he interacted with us. That's just the situation. Whoever he got with, dated, whatever, moving forward, had to understand that he had children with somebody, and that was the situation. Whoever my mother got with after the fact had to understand that come holidays, my 4 children, me, their father, whoever he's dating, whoever I'm dating, we're all going to be under the same roof, and we're going to celebrate the holidays together, because what's most important is these 4 kids having both their parents in the house on Christmas morning, etc., etc. And if whoever my father was seeing, if they was okay with it, cool. If they wasn't, then they didn't make the cut.
I have one question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who made that decision?
Both of them did.
No, both of them did it. Because if your mother didn't want it to happen, it wouldn't have happened. So your mother allowed your father to be a good father. And that's all I'm saying.
But no,
right. But here's the question. So then here's my question. Are you being a good mother by allowing what you feel personally to deprive those children of a father? Because regardless of the fact, you know, that's my mother. I love my mother dearly. As a woman, I empathize with her situation being cheated on by my father after 11 years of marriage and having 4 kids. As a woman, I could totally get that. Yeah, that's fucked up. But does that have any bearings on how I feel about my father? Absolutely not. Does that take away anything from the memories that we created, him coming to pick me up and take me to school, or him coming to take us to the movies on the weekends, etc., etc.? Kids don't give a shit about none of that. And I'm sure Nick Cannon's kids really don't care about what people say about their dad more than they care about the experiences that they have when they're with their father. If he's abusive, by all means, he shouldn't be around them. If he's not hands-on fathering, by all means, he should not be around them. As Prez said, if they're with him and they're not really with him, and a nanny and everyone is taking care of them, and they're not really having quality time and really creating memories with their dad, then by all means, do what you got to do. But if that's happening and he's fathering you, what he does with other women, etc., like, that's a conversation that he has to have with his children when they come and ask him. What Mariah should be doing, if her kids are coming home saying, oh, they talking about daddy on the playground, etc., etc., is direct the conversations to the dad. Invite him over for dinner. Sit down at the table together with him and let him explain to his children the predicament that he's putting them in with having to defend their father on the playground. But to say that you're going to take him away from being able to spend time with them on any level is crazy to me.
We don't know that she said that. So let's not put that in the atmosphere. Nobody said Mariah said she's keeping Nick from that.
Right.
Nobody,
okay. Hypothetical scenario. If that's what she's doing, that's wrong.
All I'm saying is that you're coming from a place of a great woman. I'm coming from a place of reality. You guys are coming from a place of what should happen on its merits, just like
but that's a part of, but this is the thing, and this is where the double standard come in. Yes, all of that comes into play, reality and so on and so forth, but a part of your responsibility of being a good mother is doing right by your children no matter what. Part of the sacrifice,
I just said that you and Sean on your merits, there is no argument. You and Sean's argument on its merits cannot be argued. It's not reality. It's not reality.
So then, okay, here's the thing to that. Then that's sad. The fact that it's not, it is. The fact that being a good mother, hold on.
A mother is going to do what she feels she wants to do, whether it's the best for the children or not the best for the children. The mother is going to make a decision that she wants to make. She has that power to make
I understand that, but being a good mother should not take a back seat to your emotions or what you feeling. I promise you, them kids is not going to care in the grand scheme of things about missing out time with their dad.
You're making the same point. You cannot in a debate make the same point over and over again when I've already conceded that you and Sean are both right with your arguments on its merits. I'm not arguing that the merits that you and Sean are pointing out are correct. A good mother is supposed to care about the kids. She's supposed to put the kids first. She's supposed to put the kids in the best position to succeed. She's supposed to let the kids see their father if their father is in fact a good father and is not doing anything that's derogatory or off limits to them children. If he's a good man, a good father, he should have every chance, every opportunity to be a father. On its merits, absolutely correct. There is no argument there. Your mother happened to be a great mother. Your mother, who got cheated on after 11 years and, still allowed your father to be a part of your life, still allowed you to go do those things, and your father was a dope person because he said, I got 4 children with that woman over there, and if y'all don't want to accept them 4 children over there, then I can't fuck with you. So you have 2 parents who just didn't work out. Nigga got caught slipping. He got caught slipping. She caught him. They broke up. Shit happened. But they were still good people, and they would still had you 4 at the core of making the thing work in the best position for you four to be in.
Right.
So your mother was dope for that, and your father was dope for that. You have two dope
Right.
parents. All I'm saying is that that's not reality for everyone. Every woman is not going to say, I'm doing what's right for my kids in spite of what I don't think is right. I don't want my kids around that situation. This is going to be super duper extreme, and it may be a bad analogy, but if you're a crackhead, but you're an amazing father, you don't do nothing around them kids, you're great when you're around them kids, you clean when you're around them kids, them kids might even be the reason that you are clean. But if your fucking baby mama know you're a crackhead, it is her power, it was within her power and within her justification to say, I don't want you around that. Regardless of how good of a person your father is, regardless of that you being around your father helps him, I don't want you around that because I don't like that situation over there, and I have the power to say you're not going over there.
Hold your thought, SB. Hold your thought. Rich, you on 10, and nobody has once challenged what you said. I like, maybe I'm lost because two things can be right at the same time. What SB and I is saying is one thing, and it's running parallel with what you're saying. Nobody's saying that in the real world, the woman doesn't have the power, the quote unquote power. So I'm trying to figure out, where did I get lost in this conversation that you would be on 10 to push this point?
Because y'all keep saying that based on Mariah's situation, that she should be giving Nick opportunities to do what he needs to do if in fact he is a good father. I'm saying that if in fact she doesn't agree with his lifestyle, regardless of what she is, regardless of what he is to them kids, if she doesn't agree with the lifestyle, she is within her power to pull them kids from that. Regardless.
Okay, but who said? But these are two points that are independent of one another, and they're both right. We know in reality a woman who bears the kid, she could damn near be a crackhead herself, and a judge is going to give the kids to her before he gives it. A father damn near got to prove that he is father of the year before or that this woman is a danger to the kids before a judge will say you get the kids. He has to show, I went over to the house 50 times and she got the dope fiend nod, she high, and the kids is running around and all that. So we get it. I'm not arguing that, and I don't think SB is arguing that you're wrong. No, nobody is even, I don't even know how this came up into the conversation. But I agree. If you want to hear it from my mouth, I agree with you. In reality, yes, the woman typically, unless she is a freaking serial killer, a judge is going to give her primary custody until she damn near does something again and again and again to prove she's a danger to the kid. We know that. I'm not arguing that. We're just saying, and I don't want to say in a perfect world, but maybe I should go there because maybe it'll help ease your mind. But in a perfect world, I think kids should always be off limits. You should never punish another parent, whether it's a father or a mother, based on your feelings toward the other parent. That's it. But go ahead.
You know, I don't, not to jump around, but I just want to say what I got to say and then let somebody else in. To the first topic, with being with someone who you can trust as opposed to someone that you love.
That's really why you're here.
You said what?
That's really why you're here. I saw your comments. I saw you. But go ahead.
Stop reading them comments, Rich. It's dangerous.
So I just wanted to say that it's not, I don't think that women always go for the bad guy. I honestly feel like any dude has the potential to be that because listen, and this is, and I can speak from experience. I took the corniest of the corniest dude, right? I made him the type of dude that I wanted in terms of look, whatever, started, you know, the clothes that I wanted to see him in, etc., etc. Once I transformed him into the type of dude that I wanted him to be, and he started getting attention from everywhere else, he was never the cheating type. He was never that, he was, look, L7, okay? Okay?
What is
I
L7? Hold up. What is L7?
L7, an L and a 7, square,
Double
square. He was
Understood.
okay? He was square. I said, all right, I'm not going to go for a type. I'm going to take this dude that I wouldn't normally go for, and I'm going to work with him because he likes me, etc., etc., and I'm going to make him like I want him to be. As soon as the outfits changed and the car changed and he started getting attention, he turned into a dog. So all of these dudes have the potential to be that. I don't think for 1 minute that women are just going after the bad boy type. What stings worse is when you go for the L7 and you give him a shot and then end up getting played anyway. And it's like, out of all of the niggas that could have did me dirty, you got the audacity to do me dirty. So I don't think that it matters when as it pertains to good guy, bad guy, or whatever. You just gotta find your fit, and that shit is like a needle in a haystack, point blank, period.
Sean,
You
wanna
lucky
go?
if you get one in a lifetime, okay?
Sean, you want to go?
I only got one thing to say is I love me some SB. I don't care what nobody say. I love me some damn SB, and that's just what it is. Go ahead, Rich.
As the mistake
I'm
that
listening.
you made is exactly what we've been saying.
What is that? Because you said, I heard you. You was like, oh, these dudes don't have no options, and this and that, and that and this. I heard you. I heard you now.
No.
Tell him, SB.
I said what the conversation was that girls will bypass the dude and they will walk to the
But what
table.
about,
Listen.
Read the comments now.
Listen.
Go ahead.
And they will walk to the table of the guy with all the girls. Your mistake, sweetheart. You found the dude and you weren't happy with him. You changed him. You made him what you wanted him to be, which is them niggas at the table.
Clothes don't change the person. Clothes don't change a person. Whatever is in him is in him.
Listen, come on.
What was in him is in him.
You didn't say just clothes. You didn't say I bought the nigga a Gucci belt and he changed. You said the car, the clothes. That's a mentality. That's a confidence. That's a nigga with a new haircut.
No. You remember when Beyonce made that song, Let Me Upgrade You? Remember that song? I just upgraded him. That's all.
Upgrade that nigga and everybody else starts to want him. You have now made the man that you should have been happy with. You have now made him what you wanted him to be, and that's the man that all the women now want. So when the nigga starts fucking all those women that now want him,
I said it before and I'll say it again. Jay-Z was getting bitches before Beyonce, but he ain't never getting some more bitches than he got after Beyonce, because don't no woman want a man that other women don't want. That's just what it is.
You're not gonna do Jay-Z and Beyonce because Jay-Z was a millionaire rapper. Like, let's not do that.
Again,
regular people.
Hold on. Again, okay. Vivica and 50, when they showed up on a red carpet together, Vivica happened to be the bigger star at the time. Listen, Vivica wasn't the biggest star at the time. 50 was just getting into his rap career at the time.
At the height of Vivica Fox's career, she wasn't a bigger star than 50 Cent.
Are we talking about Hold on. Are we talking about Training Day, Will Smith, Soul Food, Set It Off, Vivica Fox? Excuse me?
Vivica Fox was never as big as 50.
When 50 showed up,
Sean,
when
you
50,
think Vivica Fox was
when,
bigger than 50?
hold on, time out. Hold on, let's be specific. When 50 showed up with Vivica on the red carpet, he was go shorty, it's your birthday 50 Cent. He wasn't power 50 Cent. He wasn't
Shorty,
the
it's your
50 Cent.
birthday 50 Cent was the 10 million album 50 Cent.
My point is,
And what Vivica Fox was in Training Day?
my point is, she the bitch that put that nigga in a suit. He was in them G Unit wife beaters before he got with Vivica. When he showed up on the red carpet with her, he put that suit and tie on, baby. He put listen. He put that suit and tie on. You heard? He was G Unit wife beater, big chain, 50 Cent. And when he showed up with Miss Fox, okay, he put the suit and tie on. Don't play about my boo. Don't play about my boo.
Yo, see now this is the deal. Yana and Vivica Fox must be besties. Because Sean,
Don't play about
are you
my
gonna
boo.
sit here and let this girl sit on this podcast and say that Vivica Fox was ever bigger than 50 Cent?
I'm out of this conversation. I ain't got nothing to do with this.
You
Don't bring me in.
Because you don't want to go against SB. That's a real
No. If you really want me to answer that,
Please.
Please.
Truth be told, I don't remember when they got together. I don't know if that was the. I do remember they was at MTV Awards or whatever. He was like, Vivica, you wearing that dress, whatever. But I don't know what part of his career that was. So I can't answer. But at one point, obviously, she was a bigger star because
He came out after her.
she was a star before he ever was a star. So at one point, she was absolutely a star. When Independence Day that made Will Smith came out, she was Will Smith's love interest. I don't know if it was at that moment. So it's hard for me to say, real talk. I would have to get off this thing and look it up.
My last question is, and I'm getting out of here. Rich, why your frat brother don't know that he can't be the third member of the boys club because I'm the third member of the boys club? Why he don't know that? Tell him look, I respect the Noops. I respect the whole movement and all that, but let him know.
All right. Next time Trey come on, I will let him know
Be
that
the third
SB is
member. The
of
third
Boys Club,
member.
and that Vivica Fox was bigger than 50.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this and we'll let you go.
Said it.
SB, you always bring it, and I love SB's perspective. You ain't just a matter of fact, I'ma say it. You the third member. Like I get the whole J5 thing was last week. We ain't buying into all that bull crap. SB is day one, A1 since day one with the dope perspective every week. Peace and love, SB. You know I got your back.
Look, you heard. Look, I hope he watching. I hope he heard that.
Trell, he's in the room. Trell's always in the room. He always lurking.
All right, so peace out.
Yo, Prez, you really just sit there and let SB say that Vivica Fox is bigger than 50?
Rich, if it was at the beginning of his career, then obviously she was bigger than him because she was a star before he ever became a star. Okay, I'll give you one better, right?
Yep.
At one point, I was a bigger star than you. The whole world know Rich Dollaz. They don't know who the hell a Sean Prez is. That's like saying, yo, back in the early 2000s, Rich was always bigger than Prez. No, you weren't. I recognized that Rich Dollaz came in, blew up, and Sean Prez is the other nigga on the show, except for people who know. We get it. So we can't just dismiss the fact that Vivica Fox was at one point bigger than 50. She came out before him.
If Vivica Fox, all right. Vivica Fox was a bigger star than 50 before 50 became a star. But when 50 became a star, Vivica Fox has never been as big as 50 Cent since he put out that first album, which was his first album, which was Get Rich or Die Trying. As we was talking, and she wasn't dating him during the Wankster days. She didn't start talking to him until It's Your Birthday Days, which was three singles later, and probably 10 million albums later. 50 Cent went immediately in his fucking G-Unit wife beaters, went immediately from Power 105, Hot 97, that nigga was Z100 and headlining every show in the world.
Yo, Rich, can I ask you something? Is this really important in the bigger scheme of things?
No,
can we get another caller on? Can we?
All right. Next person, please. Yo, you gotta stop just always going with SB, bro. That shit.
Rich, I always got your back. You know that. You ain't always agreeing with me. Tonight you was dead against me, and that's okay.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
how you doing, beloved? Where you calling from? What's your name?
Kenya, calling from Kansas City, Missouri.
What's up, Kenya from Kansas City?
What's going on? Hate to bring it back up because it seemed like such a heavy topic, the Mariah and Nick situation. I kind of wanted to talk to Sean about it. Sean, that's your name, right, Sean?
Yep.
Okay, so do you feel like Nick Cannon is kind of right now fighting something bigger than what we kind of see? Because, and not to say that that's an excuse for her to be taking her kids away from him, which I don't feel like that's even been validated that she is doing that. But do you think that he's fighting something mental?
Do you mind me asking you a question before I answer that? Why did you direct this question to me?
Because I think I'm y'all silly. I think that I'm on the opposite side of what you're feeling like a little bit.
Truth be told, I don't know what he's dealing with. So I couldn't answer that. And even before you say what you are going to say, is this your first time watching the Boys Club?
I watched it a couple times before.
Okay, so you'll understand what I'm about to say. We always take scenarios that are happening in the headlines and we use them for greater conversation. So even when I was speaking, we were using Nick and Mariah, but nobody knows what's going on in their life. We don't know, but we used it as a basis for a broader conversation. But to be honest, to answer your question, I really don't know, and I'd like to hear your feedback or your thoughts.
So, because I had this conversation with my child's father, and I just been listening to a lot of things online. And I asked him, you know, and I think that my child's father, he's a pretty decent guy. And he said what majority are saying. Well, I mean, if ain't none of the women complaining and they all taken care of and, you know, nobody's complaining, you know what I'm saying? Because some dudes don't even see their kids and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, well, yeah, at first I was like, yeah, you're right. If the women aren't complaining, then why is anybody else? But see, I think for a while, I think that everything was at least painted as if it was okay, because we would see one of his kids' mothers in an interview and she's like, yeah, everything's fine. He catches a jet and he's always there and da-da-da-da. And I think that, you know, we're on baby number, 11, possibly 12. And this is the first time I've ever heard Mariah even mention it. Has she mentioned anything before, Rich? Sean, did you know?
I don't think so.
I
don't think so.
Not really.
So it's like, could she have possibly been at a point where she was like, you know how you don't like something that's going on, but you're tolerating it because it's not really rocking the boat right now? So could she possibly have at a point where she's just like, okay, something's topsy-turvy here to where I need to kind of make a divide here. And if she is doing that, I don't think that she's doing it in a malicious way, because I personally don't take her as the type that wants her kid to be fatherless, like just because of some stuff that she's feeling, you know what I'm saying? And then like to what SB has said, she said, I can guarantee you that these kids don't care about what people are saying about their father. And it's just like, these kids are you know, in the public eye, you know what I'm saying? These kids are, like you said, old enough to read comments and stuff like that. So I think that we're looking at like Nick's behavior, like, oh, well, he's a good father, but it's just like, what are the kids feeling though? Like, we don't know. We don't know what those babies are feeling. We don't know that they have not felt a shift or a change with their father and their father and child relationship since his 12th child. And I do think that, even furthermore, I really think that Nick Cannon needs some counseling, and maybe he is getting some, because for one, he had a baby that passed away. You know what I'm saying? And he feels the need to keep having. Some people just want to have children because they just want to, but I feel like with Nick, it's like, what you doing? Like, are you just having them? Are you trying to fulfill something? Because are you trying to fulfill you, or are you thinking about these kids that you're having? Like, whose best interests are you having? Are you having the kids' best interests as you have them, or are you thinking about something you're trying to fulfill on your own as you have them? You know what I'm saying? So I think that taking these things into consideration, I think that you know, and I know that you said that you agree that Mariah isn't that she has right, you know, if something is you know, is wrong, she has right to take, you know, as long as she's doing it. What's the word you use? Punitively.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, but I just think that he's fighting something a little bit bigger. And then I also think that we gotta stop excusing certain people's behavior just because they have money too. You know what I mean? Like, because people are comparing their own fathers. Well, hey, my father wasn't even there, so, you know, shoot, I think they ought to be happy with what Nick doing. And it's like, come on now, because your daddy ain't him. You and your daddy wasn't in the public eye. You and your daddy wasn't in the news lines and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that, I feel like that changes the dynamic of what the kid feels. And I feel like in this situation, including Mariah herself and Nick, should be more concerned about what these kids are feeling versus that they're taken care of and how it looks. Because I think that now,
Fred, you got something you want to get in?
Oh, sorry.
I would love for you at some point, Rich, to jump in here. What's your name again,
Kenya.
ma'am? Kenya. Thank you for your thoughts, but I just, truth be told, I don't want to spend this whole show talking about Nick and Mariah, but I think we got the basis of what you were saying, so I appreciate you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Kenya. Nigga want me to be the bad guy. You be the bad guy.
Rich, I don't control who comes in and who doesn't. This is on your live. And at some point, like we got a lot of callers trying to get in.
Kenya was talking, man. I ain't want to cut her off.
And I respect everything she said. I do. Like, thank you so much, Kenya from Kansas City. Like, it wasn't, but I didn't want to go down this whole thing with, you know, it's a lot of other people trying to get in. And I want to be respectful of them.
Lena Lanice. Is she in the room? No. Dorothy Spriggs. No, Dorothy.
Well, all these people was there until you let the last few callers go on for 30 minutes. Oh, here we go. Dorothy's in.
Hey, yo, how y'all doing? Hello, brothers. Hello, everyone.
You need to see some light there.
It's my first time ever going live.
Okay, so
I'm gonna turn this camera
hold on a second. Before we
let me turn this camera around. I'm here.
Why can't we only see one person? All right. So the first person, Dorothy, you're first, and then we'll take you second. I'm sorry, I clicked both of y'all at the same time. Dorothy came in late, so I'm gonna hold off. All right. So go ahead, Dorothy. What's your question?
Not really a question. It's my first time on here watching you live, but just had a comment though, because you know, if we want to build up a better and a bigger and a better and a stronger society of stronger Black and brown women and men, you know, why worry and down the ones who already made it? You know, why are we sitting over here conversing about what they got going on, how they turn feeling, and who's famous first. You know, let's congratulate them. And for someone who knew getting on here and just seeing, okay, you got a blue check though. So from where I'm from, blue check mean, okay, you somebody, okay? So if you finally, you know, say, okay, Dorothy, I'm gonna let you in on the group chat, or I'm gonna listen to you. Don't keep letting nobody use your platform or get on your platform and even explain or try to question why his children got to go. As a teacher, you hear me? 15 years in, I love what I do as a teacher. You understand me? A humble teacher. But
what are you talking about, love? What are you talking about right now?
Just piggyback off of what I've been saying.
No, we can't have no more Nick and Mariah talk. I'm sorry.
Even before that, no, I wasn't talking about them too much. Just per se, like the lady who got on and you like really let her sit and talk on like to judge somebody. How you gonna judge somebody? Like, we not here to judge nobody, because ain't nobody blood orange or purple or stronger than mine. You know.
Who do we judge?
Uplifting.
Who did we
say
judge?
what now?
Oh,
no, I'm not judging you at all. I'm saying your platform, the lady. I was speaking towards you. I was laughing, you know, when y'all were going, and he got this pretty lady over here to my right, you know. And I'm loving, and I agree in everything she's saying, you know, as far as the men, though. You know, of course, when you got something, when you see something you want, it's like a man to put a woman on the platform. Us women put a man on the platform. As far as if me
Dorothy,
personally,
we're gonna go ahead and let you go, beloved, because I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Appreciate the love, though.
All right.
Have a good night, Dorothy.
God bless.
God bless you, girl.
What the fuck?
Yo, stop.
What are you even talking about, bro?
Stop. I mean, people get nervous when they get on. So thank you, Dorothy.
What's up, Mama?
Hello. I don't know what was going on there, but I want to bring back an old topic because I meant to ask you this last week when you guys were on live with Sydney.
What is that on your head?
What?
I knew it. I knew it was one of them things. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
Of my PJ hoodie. But no, can I ask a question that had to do with like your previous topics on the trans stuff? Okay, and forgive me if this is a stupid question or I struggle to explain it. But
hold on, yo, wait, do you realize you said what the hell? Yo, just let me get this right.
It's my PJ
hoodie. Talking to you.
Okay.
Oh.
I just need to get myself composed. But go ahead, I need to get that out.
Go ahead. Ask your question.
Okay, so my question was, the whole thing with Sydney started, right? Because there was a clip of her going viral saying a man who's attracted to a trans woman's not gay, right? And you disagreed with that. I think Rich disagreed with that, right? So this is just me and my curiosity. I don't feel any type of way either way, but I just want to know what you think if the trans person is reversed and it's a trans man. Do you think if a man is with a trans man, that makes him straight because biologically they're a female, when you think it's gay if he's with a trans woman because she's biologically a man? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I think if a man likes a trans anything, likes a trans anything, he gay. He gay. So
okay,
you saying if a woman,
this is like I said, forgive me
if a woman, if a man, okay, so all right, I'm gonna give you the short version of this so we can move on. A trans man is essentially a woman, right? Okay, so you're saying that if a trans man likes a woman because she has a vagina,
biologically a woman,
does that make him gay?
Yeah, because you said it's gay because he's biologically a male, right? Or the trans woman.
If a trans man who is technically a woman, why would a man not be gay if he wants a person who dresses up to be a man? That would make you.
Yeah, that's what because Sydney's argument was, oh, they're female presenting, like they look like a female. So man's. Yeah, I understand that. Well, I don't know if
I will venture to say that everybody and anybody who out here who pretends like they never got tricked or never got finessed or never looked at a person and was like, oh shit, she's dope, and then found out she was trans.
So basically, you're saying if they're a trans woman or a trans man, you think the man is gay, who's attracted to anybody.
Every man if any man who is okay with his sexuality and in a good place in life with himself, he will admit that he has seen a woman out there that he thought was a beautiful woman and found out that it was a trans man or trans woman, whatever. But you found out that he was. Okay. And when you found out that
I got it confused because I thought you were saying he's gay. Yeah. I got it confused because I thought you were saying he's gay because they biologically were a male.
You cut me off.
Yeah, you can finish. I was not bad. Damn.
So if I see you, let's just use you for an example, and obviously you're a woman. But if I see you and I'm like, oh, she's pretty, and then I'm like, and Deshaun is like, yo, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's a dude. My mentality should change at that moment. And as far as a trans man being concerned, if you're a woman, but you're dressed up like a man, I shouldn't like your ass anyway. So I should never ever get to find out if you have a vagina or a penis, because I shouldn't like you no way, because you're dressed up like a dude and you want to be a dude. And that should keep me from liking you under them circumstances. Does that make sense? All right.
I get what you're saying. Like I said, I'm sorry if it was a dumb question. It was just genuine curiosity watching you guys last week. I don't feel, like I said, I don't feel no type of way either way. I let people do what they do, but I was just like, well, what if it was reversed? Does that mean he's straight because they were biologically a female? I don't know. My head was getting confused, but I know. That's why I think that's what Sydney's argument was they're dressed up like a girl.
Argument, that you can be dressed up like a girl and you can get.
But you could still be attracted to them and you're not gay. But if you go further, you gay.
There's a piece of wood hanging around down there, then that should change the game for you. All right.
Okay. Like I said, I was just curious. Sorry, don't want to take up no time for people with better questions. Good night.
Am I bugging or not?
No, you answered it right. I think that I mean, you could have said it just simply once you find out, because we're attracted to who we're attracted to. If you see a woman and she looks, walks, talks, sounds like a woman, nobody can be mad at you for being attracted to her. Right. Basically, what you're saying is once you find out that no matter how attractive this person is, now I know behind the curtain there is something different, then everything comes into question. So no, you're not wrong.
Okay.
Let's see who we got.
No holds back one. I'm almost scared to push this button.
Do it.
No holds back one.
Do it.
Hello.
Hello. No holds back one. What's your real name? Where you calling from?
Tasha from Tribeca.
Okay, Tasha from Tribeca. That means Tribeca, New York?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I have a few questions. One, I want to make the statement of, Rich, I understand when you're saying that 50 was bigger than Vivica, but you're saying as far as in hip-hop.
No.
In hip-hop, yeah, but he was known worldwide because of hip-hop and everything, excuse me, in different states, but Vivica been acting for so much longer. In the beginning of his career, I'm not talking about, as everyone said, power and all that. I will
ask you this. If you go ask anybody about Vivica, Tommy Davis, and Jamie Foxx, no white people gonna know that movie. If you go ask Vivica about Set It Off, white people probably ain't gonna know that movie because that was before Latifah was a cover girl and Jada was just Jada from Different World. If you go and you ask, Vivica got her big break when it came to the movie that they kept talking about, Independence Day with Will Smith, in that first Independence Day. Now, with that being said, Vivica has always been the queen. And I'm a Vivica fan, so there's no disrespect to Vivica.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But Vivica has always been bigger in the urban world. When 50 came out with Wankster, number one, 50 was co-signed. See, people forget that 50 was co-signed by the biggest white rapper in the whole world. So he already had an end to white people. So when anybody comes on this show, please don't tell me that 50 was bigger in urban than he was in pop, because 50 was always a pop star. He was always a pop star just by virtue of being signed to Eminem. 50's records always went to Z100, and you're from New York. They didn't just live on Power 105. They didn't just live on Sugar Daddy's 9 o'clock BLS show. Them shits was on Z100 in the morning time with
Sugar Daddy,
whatever his name is. Next question.
saying Sugar Daddy. Okay, my question
Sean knows
is.
who Sugar Daddy is. You remember Sugar Daddy, Sean?
Of course.
My question to Sean is, what's your definition? Because everyone keeps saying a good father. What's your definition of a good father?
You know,
Just financial to me is not a good father. What's your definition?
I mean, I'm in a hot seat tonight, ain't I? Like usually people
saying
come
it
on.
so much on the live. Oh, well, you know, if he's a good father.
Okay. I'm just used to people coming on always wanting to talk to Rich. So this is a little different for me because everybody's like, nah, but my definition of a good father is just that. A good father. I didn't say financial provider. I said a good father. I was very specific with my words. And what I mean by that is someone who is an educator, someone who is a teacher, someone who is a provider, someone who spends quality time, someone who's a protector, someone who loves their children and is there for their children. I never once said a financial provider. So if you're asking me what's my definition, there you have it.
Nice point on your definition. That's all. I appreciate it. I just want to make sure people understand on the platform that it's not just that. I never said you said that, because you didn't. I just want to make sure it's clear that it's not just being financial. And I think a lot of people.
What's your name again? I'm sorry.
My name is Tasha.
Tasha, first and foremost, you know, thanks for even bringing that. I don't personally read the comments because I can't get sucked into that vortex. So I didn't even know this is a thing going on that people are asking what a good father is. I almost thought that would be self-explanatory.
It's not.
But
not
you know,
really.
really, wow.
Comes to celebrities, a lot of people, in my opinion, I've seen a lot of people saying things. I don't want to take so much of the time. A lot of people look at it as, okay, they have money. They can do financial. That's financial. And what you just said, you stated everything that adds to it to make a person a good father.
Yeah.
It's not just financial. So I just want to make sure that's clear to people, the definition of what a good father is. Because all you stated before was a good father. So now you broke down the definition. That's all.
Okay.
I appreciate
I have
you.
a question for you from Tribeca. Okay. Do women want a good father versus financial security? That's
a good one.
That's a good one.
Good.
That's a good question.
Let's see what you got to say, Tosh. You on the spot now.
I would want a good father, because at the end of the day, someone going to the games, someone that's giving that hug, that love, having those moments, that can't be bought. You know, at the end of the day, I can do the overtime and stuff that need to be bought. I can bring that in. But what's the memories come in with those pictures, and you see, God says, my father was around. He provided for us, but he did a lot of doubles, like not doubles. He had different jobs. He was there. If there was if you need to go to a game, he was there. And that's the memories we had, the vacation, those special moments. You know, when we had a grade and he celebrated, like, oh, you did this, that's great. Those moments is what you remember as an adult. And I always tell my friends, you got to realize that you're an adult longer than you're a child. So that adult is going to remember their childhood and the different moments that they had with their parents. And that stays with them. All the things that you brought throughout the years, here and there will stay, but it's not as much as those moments as seeing that parent in the crowd while you're out there at the games, celebrating your picture that you drew right for the first time. So that's what's more important. I hope I answered you.
No, that was a good answer. That's the answer I wanted. I don't know that that's the right answer. Let's say that. That's the right answer.
Thank you for having me on your show.
A lot of people on the platform would give the right answer. I'm not saying that you would or wouldn't. I don't know you like that. I'm just saying that a lot of people would give the right answer and then make the question seem like it was a far-fetched question. But the reality is, a lot of women have babies for financial security.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's...
I'm related to some of them.
So
in my family, so yeah.
So when people are sitting here and everybody wants to take jabs at a guy or a dude is not a good father, and a mother brought that baby into this world with never having the pretense of, I'm going to show that baby love, affection, and it's going to be my child, and I'm going to love it they brought that baby in here specifically for a reason. I want a baby by so-and-so because I know that I'm about to get a bag from so-and-so, and I will be financially secure for at least the next 18, right?
Yeah, you're right. But at the same token, that also plays on that father, because you could have bagged it up and make sure, or tell her to swallow. Either way, he couldn't make sure it didn't happen.
Okay.
Appreciate you, Tosh.
Thanks, Mama.
All right, have a good one.
All right. I like Taj. Taj had a good question.
She did.
Trulo, Trulow, Trulo 1. Let's see. Coming in?
Nope.
I don't want to do it right there earlier.
Nope.
All right. K-Wash 3433. K-Wash 3433. All right, let me know if he starts to come. Dwayne Smith. Dwayne Smith.
While we waiting for people to jump in the conversation, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, the official Boys Club on YouTube. All you have to type in is the official Boys Club, Rich Dollar Sean Prez. It'll come right up. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's about the 5th person.
It's cool. Try another one. We got enough time for one more caller, possibly two.
Rob Johnson.
Yeah.
Good evening, gentlemen.
What's up, brother?
You know,
your name is Rob?
Yeah, Rob.
Rob, where you coming in from, brother?
I'm coming in from North Carolina. I'm also a licensed professional counselor.
Okay, hold on. What part of NC?
Charlotte.
Okay.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, Rob.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it. Been enjoying y'all platform for a minute. I want to kind of rewind because I know it's been a lot of conversation, but I know you guys started off about trust versus love. And so I want to kind of talk about that and how it interconnects about all the things that we're talking about, because we don't want to focus so much on the different celebrities and their problems and issues, because as human beings, we all have issues. And this is why it's important for people to go through their natural healing and to kind of figure out what's going on in their life before they start picking spouses and then, start having children. Because when you don't have that trust and love, that's the foundation, because you can have both, but it's about you as the individual kind of understanding what you would like and what you want. And like Tasha said, it's important to be present in your children's lives, because when you're not, it impacts them. I'm currently right now, dealing with my 4-month-old, trying to put her to sleep. I'll show y'all that. And that means I have to be a present father. And so when we talk about trust and love, what I think sometimes people do is we're measuring our lives by celebrities and what they're doing. And that's not always the whole truth. We just get to see parts of people's lives and what they put out there. But we got to focus on our own healing so that we can kind of move forward. And so my question to you guys is, when we talk about trust and love, and you know, women wanting the bad guy, I think there's that piece of the woman wants the bad guy, but the guy can also have a little bit of badness to him as well as good to him too as well. You know, I take my grandfather, who was a man that I've looked up to, and also my own father, but more importantly, my grandfather, because I saw him still manage to stay in love with my grandmother, take care of her, even when she became an amputee from, you know, having diabetes. And he wasn't, you know, he'll tell you off and really get into your stuff. So he was still a good guy, but he knew how to handle himself. And he took care of his children. He took care of his household. So it is possible. I just think that now the generations are being lost because there is no village that sticks together. We have no more village in our communities. We're looking at others' lives to be our reality, and that's not the reality. So my question to you guys is, as you use your platform, how do you feel, you know, outside of just how to use this platform and YouTube, that you try to go about trying to just build up, you know, our community? How do you feel like you go about it?
Sure.
Okay, Rob. What is your question here?
So
you said a lot of things, and I'm really paying attention. But you kind of touched on so many areas. Where did you finally land this plane at?
So the plane is landing at, and this is where the plane is landing at, Sean. The question is, with the platform that you guys have, my question to you is, how do you go about trying to make sure that people realize there are ways of building our community by kind of making sure that we're not only just looking at others' lives? And when I say others' lives, meaning celebrities. Like, what are some things in the community that you both are doing to try to make sure that the Black community is being built up so that we can understand that we're stronger together? That's kind of like where my question is landing at.
Whoa. Is this your first time on our show?
No, well, this is my first time on the live, but not on the show, though.
Okay, before I attack your question, you started out by listing your credentials. You said you're a licensed something. You're licensed what exactly?
Licensed professional counselor.
In what area?
Counseling.
Grief counseling, relationship counseling,
individual grief counseling, family counseling, substance abuse counseling, things of that nature.
Okay. I don't know almost how to answer your question. I really don't. What are we doing in the community?
Correct.
Nothing. We're being good human beings. I don't know, like this platform. That's why I asked if you watch this platform. This platform is really a relationship, open discussion from a man's point of view. But if you want a truth be told answer, you know, outside of this, I am a public speaker, a motivational speaker. So if and I don't know if that particularly answers your question, what we're doing in the community, but I'm a kid from the South Bronx who has done very well for himself, and my give back to my people is to go back and help others who come from impoverished communities, who were born into despair, who have nothing but their dreams and their hopes. Understand that they can want to be in this life. Richie and myself are living proof of that. So I almost don't know how to answer your question because it really doesn't relate with the premise of our show, but hopefully that answers it. You know, if you're asking what are we doing to go back into our community. But go ahead, Rich.
I mean, I feel like part of what we're doing is we're having these conversations.
Right.
We're having open dialogue with people, and we're giving you gems, and we're dropping from the mind of a man. We're trying, like, if you come on this conversation, there is no stupid question. So we're having dialogue and we're speaking to people and we're having open debate. So now we can get to the bottom of things, and hopefully sometimes, not saying that me and Sean are always going to be right, but sometimes when you come in here with an opinion, hopefully your opinion can be changed, or you see another point of view, or you see and that's important. That's important for our people, that you don't think that there's only one way or only one way to think. So, I mean, from that perspective, what this live does is to just give you a conversation and give you some tidbits on how the other half thinks.
Right. And that kind of answered my question. I think what it is that because of when you guys first started, it started off talking about the trust and love part, and then it kind of was talking about the celebrities. And I want to kind of stick on that topic in regards to, you know, what are the ways that as a community we can continue to build that in our community, that trust and love. That was my key, you know, question that I was really kind of asking with it a little bit, just kind of bringing, you know, that awareness. I understand that your platform is kind of creating that space, but kind of making sure as individuals, we're kind of constantly creating that space by making sure that people understand that it really starts with the individual and kind of understanding who they are and what they want out of life, so that when they are starting to kind of look for someone that they're in love with or trying to build a family, that they're connecting the dots with that piece. So that's just my comment on that.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right, good brother.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate your thoughts, Rob. Thanks for your input.
Appreciate you, fellas.
And I appreciate you being a good dad, laying there with your 4-month-old. That's dope.
It is indeed.
All right, we got time for one more, Rich. Let's make it good.
You know, K Wash, I think her name is K Wash. No K Wash.
So Wash.
Trulo, did I already do Dwayne Smith? Dwayne Smith. Have we ever had him in before?
I don't think so.
Dwayne Smith.
Only thing I know is, let's take it out on a high note, man. Please, if you get in this conversation, have something intelligent and insightful to say.
We have one of our go-tos. I can always let Dr. Solomon in. Dr. Solomon? Is he still there? Be Canada. We usually have a good conversation with people from across the board.
Oh, I finally got in.
Yes. What's up, Be Canada?
What's your name? What's your name?
Hold on. I'm Brandy.
What's up?
I'm
What up, Brandy?
from New Orleans. Yeah, I'm kind of lit because I've been sipping on the drink. It's pretty Mardi Gras out here right now.
So can we have a question?
Hold on. I'm going to start by saying you the last caller of the night. And you start off by saying I'm kind of lit. So please make this worth it.
No,
Thank you.
I have a real question. So dating in 2023. I know we just started the year dating in 2022. So I'm having a hard time dating out here. So I'm going to go back to what you said earlier. You said men can see and recognize and spot women that lead with their emotions. Well, I'm one of them women that lead with my emotions. And I find it hard to date. Like, it's hard for me to read men. Like, for instance, I've been dating this guy, and I felt like we was vibing. We've been hanging out, enjoying one another. And then the weekend comes, one of the weekends. We've been kicking it weekends after weekends. We met in February last year. So this weekend passed. I didn't hear anything from him. It was quiet. So I'm like, I ain't get no texts. I ain't get no phone calls. So here come the other day. Then he calls me like nothing happened, like everything's all good. So I guess my question is, how do you read if a man really is into you or not? Does that make sense? Like, sometimes I feel like I overshare when I'm meeting a guy. I'm so transparent, I'm so real, and I think maybe I share too much with a guy. So it's just hard to date now, how to read if a man is really feeling you. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Rich, you want to jump in?
Nah,
You want to tackle it first?
You go.
Okay. You said your name Brandy?
She said, I already know the
You
answer.
said
Girl, I don't know the answer.
We're not.
I'm just trying to find a good person. Okay.
Go ahead, Sean.
She's still reading the comments, but Rich, I can't. Go ahead, Rich. I'm not even gonna wait. Like it's late. Go ahead, Rich. You got it.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
You lost me already.
I really
look.
trying to learn how to date.
You lost me. So let Rich do it, and we can wrap the show up, or take your advice from the comments.
Oh, I lost
Go ahead,
you.
Rich.
Bottom line is this. I'm gonna say, if you don't have your intuition, you've been with a man for a year, going on a year, you don't know if the dude like you, then I think that says more about you than it says about him. Like, number one, you can't go by one weekend, even though a weekend should be a red flag and an indication of where he's at with it. But that shouldn't be the end all be all, is that he was MIA for a weekend. Maybe you need to ask him why he was MIA. Maybe you need to find out, get to the bottom of it. But if you've been with somebody, like you said, going from last February, going on this February, and you don't know where you stand, Brandy.
Well, we wasn't together. Hold on, let me go back. So how it went was I met him, and he was trying to reach out to me to date me, but I really wasn't trying to date him at first. So we really started kicking like maybe about 4 months. We've been kicking it. But, I'm looking at the comments. I'm trying not to. But we've been kicking it for a few months now. And sometimes I just feel like, am I being too transparent? Am I oversharing, talking too much when I'm meeting these guys?
I mean, honestly, I don't know about oversharing. I don't know about, but you need to ask the right questions. You need to have the right conversations. I don't know what to tell you other than that. Like, you've been dating the dude for 4 months and he pursued you. So now I don't know, either he pursued you because he was trying to have sex with you, and now that he's had sex with you, he's ready to move on, or he pursued you because he genuinely likes you. And it's up to you to know the difference between the two. Like, you got to pay attention to the red flags. I'm sure they're there. They're there. If you have to pay attention to them. All right, Brandon.
Okay.
Brandon, you don't make Sean
Thank you.
log off.
No, I'm still here. Rich, please, I can't. And you are a saint for entertaining that woman. Again, here's a deal. Stuff like that irritates me. If you want to call in and take the time for somebody else who truly has a real question that they need answers, and just read the comments, go get in a group chat somewhere. Don't waste everybody's time in here. That woman didn't hear a word you said. No, I couldn't hear, like, literally, she didn't hear one word you said, but she damn sure can tell you everybody who was commenting. So she wasted the time. This was the last call of the night. But that being said, y'all, other than that, it was a good night. I thank y'all, and I appreciate everybody who joined us. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time every Wednesday night. Please sign up to our YouTube channel. It is the Official Boys Club. All you have to do is put the Official Boys Club, Sean Prez, Rich Dollars. It will come right up. Please subscribe. This episode will be up on YouTube tomorrow. As always, it will also be on every streaming platform where you get your podcast. So if you get your podcast from Apple Music or YouTube Music or Spotify, it will be there. Thank y'all. We love you, and we'll see you next week. Rich, you got the last word.
Yo, once again, like Sean said, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We appreciate y'all rocking with us Wednesday after Wednesday. Second Wednesday of the year, second good Wednesday. I think we had two good nights in a row, 2 good Wednesdays in a row. So let's keep the momentum going. Let's build on it, and we'll see you next Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern.